Do you like subscribe to the debate between like who's better, Michael Jackson versus Prince?
You know what? I got to be honest. I didn't grow up. Well, of course, at my mom's house, I couldn't listen to Prince.
Yeah, sure.
Prince was a little out there for the time, I guess. At least my parents thought so. So I heard more Michael Jackson growing up. Even at my other grandparents' house, I heard more Michael Jackson. I didn't really start getting into Prince until later on. He's a great artist, but I'm a diehard Michael Jackson.
There you go. Yeah,
diehard Michael Jackson guy.
Okay. Yeah, both great. Like,
Yeah.
It's an impossible
absolutely.
debate. It's like how can you debate that? And like why are you pitting these two great artists against each other anyway?
It's like LeBron and Jordan. Why put them together? Just enjoy both of them, you know? But I love LeBron. Hey, I'm an Ohio guy. I love LeBron.
I'm a LeBron guy too. I follow LeBron everywhere.
My man. I knew I liked you, Tyler.
I am a LeBron guy, but yeah, the debate is tough. The debate is really tough.
Yeah.
And LeBron fans are kind of hard to come by these days now, I find.
Yeah.
Now that he's getting a little further away from his prime, and
they'll appreciate him more when he's gone. When he's gone, they'll appreciate him.
It's true. Yeah. So I always found that was funny, and like that debate kind of surfaced back up like with I think it was the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef. Like I think one of them like made a reference like basically saying I think it was Kendrick, I'm butchering this, but saying like, hey Drake, you're Michael Jackson, but I'm Prince, and everybody knows that Prince is better. Right. And I was like, I didn't know that was such a debate, and I don't think people would subscribe to that in the way you're saying that, like everybody thinks Prince is better. It's like, I don't know.
I guess Kendrick loves Prince. I don't know.
Hey, yeah. Anyway, they both did so many great things. Like, maybe Michael Jackson took a little bit more. Well, no, that's not even. I was gonna say maybe he took like a little bit more, like put him a little bit more effort into his performances. But Prince was a performer as well. They were both.
Yeah, he gives a great show too now.
Yeah.
He gives a great. I think more so Michael Jackson, because I literally grew up with Michael. I mean, he was older than me, but ever since I was a little kid, Michael was there. Prince came along a little as I got a little older. I was
yeah.
But
absolutely.
Michael, he's always been there. So
yeah. Talk about like just a crazy career. Obviously tragic story, but like crazy career. Michael Jackson, right? Like,
oh man,
just
understatement.
Only people dream of having something like that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's get into like a little bit of. I know that like Michael Jackson it's pop, but like R&B and pop, especially at that time and even now, is like so linked so closely, right? Like there's so much influence with R&B, with soul into pop, and you can thank people like Michael Jackson and Prince for that, because
absolutely
they kind of did that. But let's get into a little bit of these genres, a little bit of the classics, maybe some of this history around them, because that's just the kind of like what I was saying, like it's so hard. Like obviously you can find just straight up R&B artists and soul artists today, but in terms of like the influence that soul and R&B have on pop, it's like they're so interlinked. There's so much influence.
Oh, absolutely.
And you can't take one out of the other right now.
No.
It's just it's almost the same thing to a degree. But maybe unpack some of this like history of what you've seen in the genre with R&B and soul, and how some of that stuff kind of turned into pop.
So from history, actually, when you say pop music, of course, popular music.
Yeah.
But a lot of black artists back in the day, a lot of the soul artists, they made pop records. And then, they were called race records at the time. But they became popular because they crossed over, to white people loved it. But they couldn't really consider them pop. They didn't want to put them in the same category. So that's when they created the R&B genre, per se. Soul, R&B. Yeah. But it, like you said, it all blends together, really. I mean, some of the artists back in the day, goodness. got your James Browns, those guys were amazing. And hey, white people liked them. They tried to keep them, separate, but you can't contain talent like that. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And it was, obviously it's a symptom of the time that they were in. But like, it's such a shame that that was even a thing, that like you said with the name of your podcast, like music should be something that brings people together and holds people together and is a positive thing. So yeah, it's a shame that these great artists would have gone through that turmoil in their career.
Absolutely. I couldn't imagine being an artist back then. Really couldn't.
Yeah. And like, James Brown is definitely, like, some people would look at James Brown and call him one of the most influential artists really ever of all time.
Speaking of Prince and Michael Jackson, James Brown influenced both of them. So
absolutely.
Yeah, and they would both tell you that. Yeah, absolutely.
If you were to think of some of these like historical influential artists, who would be some of your, like, maybe Mount Rushmore? I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but
Mount Rushmore.
Who would be some of these?
Okay, so for my Mount Rushmore, of course, my number one, my favorite artist of all time, Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder is definitely on my Mount Rushmore. I would put Marvin Gaye. I would put James Brown. I would put this is tough. One more. Oh man. Yeah, you put me on the spot.
Hey, you got 3. 3 out of 4 is great.
Yeah. Those 3 though. I mean,
yeah.
I would have to put Michael and Prince on in a different category. I'm talking about from back in the day. Before the ones that influenced Michael and Prince.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because then and there's also different categories too, because like that, if you're looking kind of cross genres at rock and stuff like that, then you're getting into like people like Chuck Berry. You're getting into Muddy Waters is kind of that blues Motown, I believe. So yeah, but what?
Don't forget Little Richard. I know you probably don't know much about Little Richard.
No, I do. Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, because literally, Little Richard, as he would say, he was the architect of rock and roll. So, yeah,
absolutely. And I think it's like it gets tough when you are trying to talk like who started this thing, but like Little Richard's influence is crazy, and totally pretty much birthed a whole genre.
Oh, absolutely. He never got the credit he should have. He never got. He would remind you all the time he didn't get the credit he should have.
Yeah. How long was his career, like his kind of music career? Because like somebody like Chuck Berry went for a long time and like kept playing and playing for quite a while before he passed. But Little Richard, I think people talk about him like we are now, influential, but I feel like his career isn't as like you just said, he didn't get the recognition, or is like his career isn't as known as what he was doing.
Yeah, I think early on is when he had most of his major hits, like really early on, and I think he continued making music up until like the late 70s, maybe even beyond the late 70s, but I can only remember the late 70s. So that's probably why it seems like his career wasn't super long. I think he, like a lot of artists, you make some songs in the beginning that were really big, and then, you kind of fade off. You're still around, but, people don't really, put you up there anymore. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it definitely feels like that's kind of what happened. Is like he had a little bit more of like a spike in his career than some of these other artists that we mentioned, where it felt like they had this really long. Even though maybe a lot of their hits were in a kind of congested time, they still like went for a long time.